for today. Is it audible? That side, every side? Good. Respected Ashok sir and other participants here. The topic for today's discussion on the roundtable, which we have really selected keeping in view of the not only the agro startup setup ecosystem in Kerala, but also for the really the agriculture real sector setup in the Kerala. So the topic is facilitating disruptive rural transformation. Slow down your voice. The topic for today's discussion is facilitating disruptive rural transformation. What next for agri startups? That's the topic. We had taken a lot of time to put this topic into the. We had internally also, from the NABARD side also, we had internally and we had even referred this topic to our head office also. What best we can have a discussion on that, because we have found that a large number of FPOs with a very clear objective of taking getting a better price discovery mechanism for the FPO members. We had started for the last couple of years. The growth pattern of many of the FPOs we have seen, the required growth path or whatever the objectives of the growth path or from which we have started it, and even after doing for 6 to 8 years after what most of the FPOs have been formed, there is a small hesitation after 2, 3 or 4 years to grow up to the next. And we have found out that the startup ecosystem of the state is comparatively better intensive when compared to the many other states' startup ecosystem. Kerala is forefront in action. It is in the forefront. And many of the startups are there in all other fields, including some of them are actively involved in the agriculture and food and processing ecosystems. But there we have seen a disconnect or to that required connect between the startups and the FPO to take it forward. That was a big issue and a big question for us, and we were also seeing how to create a facilitating area for both these agencies to come up so that the FPOs will be a win-win situation. And for that particular matter only, is in the middle even, though it's the 6th year of its formation, we wanted to we had talked with the organizers to create a special little maybe more focus on the startups who are doing in the agricultural sector. So there are a lot of issues. And now, because yesterday or last week, we had a visit to Kannur. Kannur, there is an FPC promoted by a cooperative society in coconut development. Now what has happened, even after 7th year of their formation, they are unable to utilize their capacity for more than 50% of their capacity. So what we have found out is that they are not getting the coconut. That is in one of the most coconut producing areas of the state, but the sufficient number of coconut reasonably priced for their sustainable operations, they are not getting. Productivity of the coconut is coming down. Kerala is the land of coconut. So there is a real issue in the productivity, particularly keeping in view of the dwindling landholding size of the agricultural area. So all those things are there. So how best the agri startups and FPOs, both of them can grow, and what are the facilitating technologies how the productivity and post-production facilities will improve. That's the main topic in which we will start to discuss. Here we are having a lot of people who are representing startups, FPOs, etc. And the major there is a lot of policies. What is the government thinking on that? Government is also extensively thinking that you have heard in the papers about the KERA project being going to be launched, NABARD going to be launched. The way the government is trying to give an enabling environment and etc. And it's good that we are having the number one person with us here, Dr. Ashok. So he actually driving so many things parallelly. To what extent we can further take it, he can further take it up, or what are the ideas they not to think. He will start with a detailed presentation from his side. Over to you, sir.
Good morning. Thank you, Sri Guru. So, we have the slides here. Okay. So, I thought I will ask this question as to where we see the startup ecosystem and the FPOs, the FPC ecosystem will go from here. And I thought that I will sort of focus on some concrete offerings which I have on the little more focused attention to what is on hand, and I will take you through the slides. Next one, please. Okay, so this is some data from the DPIIT Government of India 2024. So this is what they see as the agri startups in Kerala. Maybe this is on the lower side, maybe your numbers may be slightly higher than this, I don't know. 190, but you find that a large number of those startups are stacked on the agri-tech sector. So they are more or less working with either software or technology that improves the value chain or delivers more value to proper, what do you call, I don't know whether it's right to call it the brick and mortar companies, or let us say the grain and vegetables sector. Compared with that, 107 are technology startups which we classify in agriculture because they deal with the value chain in agriculture. Then comes probably the food processing startups. Then if you take out animal husbandry, fisheries at 14, dairy 70. Strictly speaking, those who are on the production cycle or value addition cycle in agri-food seems to be a complete minority in that. That will be the experience of most people. So there is also a possibility of some technology startups being classified per se as in the agriculture sector because they have some link with the Ministry of Agriculture has the data of 97 agri-innovation startups who are getting funding under RKVY. So again, so they have they are established and the technology startups are counted in that also. This slide is familiar to you, so I will not skip through the experience of the so-called top-rated, successfully rated by investors. Those are these startups which are rated to be successful. It's a familiar story. Wherever you have been discussing it for 2 years, and we now have a notion of a successful startup. So these are supposed to be there. Now when we talk about opportunities, Sri Guru talked about the startup opportunity in Kerala. Kerala is basically Kerala's response to shaping up Kerala agriculture, particularly horticulture, to challenges in climate resilience and bridge the gap in value addition infrastructure. So therefore, these are the core objectives which the project is looking at. Climate resilience in agriculture, including precision farming, focus on smart irrigation, low carbon technologies, which are probably for the first time, using renewable energy to power farm operations, and agro-meteorological innovations. A lot of scope for agri startups there. Then in the value chain part, we have need for new market linkages, including e-marketing software, post-harvest management, including godowns, cold chain systems, agribusiness trade centers, data centers, productive alliances. Obviously, the finance, agri-finance, which is a huge subsector by itself, will have fintech platforms and financial risk management. Fundamentally, loans and insurance products which go. Innovation, research and capacity building, technology integration, farmer engagement, R&D, data driven. That's the data part. So these are sort of preliminary opportunities which exist in the new scenario. The KERA is funded by the World Bank. The project is already on. The initial ramping up is taking place and it will be full-fledged in 25-26. We hope to spend around 400 crores on agriculture, horticulture systems every year. What Kera plans to do is to have a portfolio of startups, exclusive portfolio of startups, which will be around 40 crores in size, and that will be run exclusively by the Startup Mission, which is organizing the Hadil also. So, two aspects of programming there. One will be the access grants for agri-tech solutions. If you look at the previous slide, we enumerated areas in which interventions are possible. Opportunity exists for startups to venture into, experiment. So access grants for agri-tech solutions, to build solutions on the items in the previous text, we have kept 1.75 crores of seed money for a number of agri-tech solutions. So that will involve a problem statement, response statement, a proof of concept, which you are familiar with, and which will have some money, of course, payable in installments to develop those solutions. Then the project also aims to fund 150 startups at the extent of rupees 20 lakhs per startup. So it is another set of seed money. So you are looking at fundamentally something like, let us say 200 startups to be assisted directly under the program. Then provide testing grounds with direct access to farmers, FPOs, and prospective buyers to enable two-way communication. So not only that government or the project will have problem statements, the FPOs will have, FPCs will have, so all players will have opportunities to come together and trade in solutions. Then KSUM will be given assistance to capacity build the participants and also develop market access for participation in the Productive Alliance. The Productive Alliance is another link, but the startups will be encouraged to work along with the Productive Alliances, which work, for instance, in regenerated plantations to provide solutions to the plantation owners or the companies active there and develop it forward. As you are aware, the government of Kerala have also launched an agro-business company in the state. It's in early days, but the company has developed a very aggressive business plan. We have many projects which need agri-entrepreneurs to take it forward. But I'm picking one project which is of huge interest to us because we have already sunk costs in the project, and my own personal perception is that it offers a huge opportunity for young startup businesses to come in. It's fundamentally infrastructure the government have created out of KIFBI funds. 5.22 acres of land, and we have around 68,000 square feet of factory space commissioned, ready to go into production on fundamentally food-based products. The building work is completed. It should be through in March, including water and electricity works. The fundamental target was to have banana processing clusters and honey processing clusters there. But as it happens in government, it's quick with building the infrastructure, but weak with the business plan that should go along with it. Since they were in a hurry to inaugurate, they went in and commissioned a mini honey plant in there, but which is idling at the moment and which has a very limited capacity to sort of take care of it. Now 68,000 square feet of infrastructure is lying there. Can I not go backwards? Oh yeah. It's Kanara, Thrissur, which is very nicely located between the Nirvashiri Airport as well as the Coimbatore Airport. If you look at the logistics part of it, also Kochi, and that is the proximity which it has. And it has a fantastic catchment of all crops that can be taken up for value addition. Now I am reading the crops along with the relaxed wine policy of the government of Kerala, whereby the excise department has started licensing 40 wine production. Incidentally, I am one of the first licensees. Probably I am the only vice chancellor who is also a liquor vendor also. Absolutely. And the only one to sell alcohol in India. Though I can't beat the other competitors on academic credentials, and I say that I am the only one selling wine, all the other 60 vice chancellors fall silent. Give me very cold stares. I am also in the process of getting a retail license to sell it myself, away from this monopoly of the beverages corporation. Probably they will give it to me. My point is this: technology exists. Agriculture University has capacity, and if you look at the likes of, for instance, the leading manufacturers like Sula, I think it's a sitting opportunity for him to put together the banana, the wine technology, the already laid out factory space, and hit the market. I'm just hinting at opportunities. How we are going to go about it, we are going to throw open an expression of interest, calling upon FPO startups to come and sort of give us business plans on that. And we are looking for people who can walk off from this ready-made center. Okay. The third element and the last element is the much talked about NABARD, which we launched in the department. NABARD is conceptually very simple. Wherever land is available with public entities, give an opportunity for them to pool it to one central data point, from where it is available to FPOs, FPCs, startups to come again on a business plan basis, start production. Production of agricultural produce which the state needs. So that is, some estimates show that if you are able to produce something like advance the state's requirement of, forget food grains, which is that difficult to implement, vegetables and fruits, probably the revenue earning potential is around 2,000 crores. So idea is to look at land parcels of 10 acres each, seal them from wherever it is available and make it available on a data bank. Data bank is already under construction. I believe around 15,000 hectares have already been promised. The exact data we can sort of share with. Already there is a huge entry into the related community WhatsApp groups, and people are trading land with contractual farming arrangements whereby young people can take up and pursue the vegetable and fruit farming opportunities. Just to add to this point, again the policy ecosystem we are trying to shape for plantation diversification. GOK, some of you may have read, have produced a report on what should be done to improve the plantations, because there is perception that it is not remunerating. One of the ideas is to induce agroforestry into the higher reaches with suitable buffer, and also launch into high value fruits, exotic fruits, so that plantation owners can convert their unproductive. Actually, there are 4 lakh hectares of plantations which have degraded. So you put the exotic fruit produce, which is very remunerative compared with plantations. I am told that an acre has the potential to yield 3 lakhs per annum within 3 years of plantations. That being the average case, most competitive, traditionally grounded plantations yield much lower, maybe 1/3 or 50% of that would be your potential, whereas the exotic fruits give you. And I'm told 7 out of Kerala's districts are ideal for agroclimatic conditions which merit many of these rambutans and exotic crops which have come in fundamentally from East Asia. So therefore, with that policy change in the anvil, NABARD on the other side, that offers plenty of opportunity for revenue. Because at the end of the day, my own perception is, whatever be the potential on paper, only one thing drives any business, which is sustainable revenue. So unless revenue is sustainable and increasing, even assuming everything else is going well in the business, it is not a business. It's most likely to be government. if your revenue is not increasing and your expenses are at par with your this thing, you are likely to be closer to be a charity or a business. So we will be there, don't worry about it. So should you work off with sustainable gains, then these are three clear opportunities which I want to outline. Okay. So these are, I'll leave the slides with you, but need not go through it. Everything goes through a process. That's it. I think that were my opening comments. So we will listen to them and sort of try.
Yeah, wonderful, because what we had heard from the sir, itself tells that, there is a real change, a visionary, deeper visionary approach for the growth of the agriculture sector, particularly from a point of view of the consumer. The model of NABARD, when the first time when it was introduced to us, it was told that a technopark model in agriculture, that is what they are going to plan it. And once the NABARD scheme, if at all, means to that objective it is achieved, the dependence on Kerala's vegetables and agriculture, vegetable and food crops on the other states and other places will drastically come down. Let us see that how best it is going to be, how best it will be taken forward. Second thing is that the CAPCO, Kerala Business Company, again, from a post-production point of view, from a better market point of view, how the goods can be marketed, etc., the ideas are strong. From the production point of view, let me just tell you one thing. To what extent our farmers have adopted the precision farming, IoT, artificial intelligence, etc., in their field. We have seen many companies depending upon particularly on the soil moisture, soil weather conditions, etc., actively involved, but whether it has penetrated down to the farmers. Again, I was telling that because we need to scale up the productivity in small parcel of land holding with us. So how best we can go ahead with that? There are people from that, even including my team, our team, NABARD's team from head office who are actively looking into ventures, agri startups are there. If you can share, we can start with any experience with you, some of our startups in other states who had gone deeply into this IoT, etc., and had seen that it has reached there. We can start with that. What some examples we can start at the need, because the need is what it has to be taken to the other. We can have why is that? Just have a quick introduction and you can just start 1 second introduction. So that
Good morning, everyone.
might to be very, very close.
So, is this audible?
Yeah, for me it is audible, but I am not sure whether others are.
People at the back, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So good morning everyone. So this is Ashish Chaudhary. I am Chief User Officer at NAB Ventures. NAB Ventures is a 100% subsidiary of NABARD, and the objective is to provide direct equity support to the startup ecosystem, the agri startup ecosystem. And when we say ecosystem, this doesn't only include the agri part of it. The holistic approach is towards the rural development part of it. When we say rural development, don't just look at purely from a farming perspective, because it includes everything right from a pre-harvest stage where there are a lot of things on the input side, which we call as the upstream side, to the final, we go to the final consumer side, which is the downstream side, where you build up the market linkages, you build up the final consumer initiatives. And to connect both these things, you need an infra for it. While infra and capacity building is not entirely a startup's forte, I may say, because of capital constraint. That's where a public and private partnership should come together, where a lot of initiatives can be built. But definitely startups have a lot of role to play in enabling most of these infrastructure, which is already built in inside the country in various states and all. So coming to the point in terms of few interventions that we have done from NAB Ventures side, one of the examples would be just to go in terms of say someone like Krishi Tantra. Just give an example. So what it actually does is it takes soil health as the key parameter for first intervention. So if you look at farming in India, is very few farmers pay heed to the actual condition of the soil. It's mostly dependent or driven by the agrochemical companies, the seed companies, which are anyway concentrated in India. So farmers are little wherewithal to understand the soil and then go into the farming stage, which basically impacts the final productivity of the soil and the final income of the farmer also. So what the intervention that's possible here is that before going into every crop, can you find out the exact soil health, where the moisture, the pH level, the extent of moisture in terms of levels of the soil, what is the right thing to grow? And based on that, the recommendations around the right thing to grow, the right time to harvest, those things are there where a typical soil health sort of parameter can help. And this soil health can then, what it does is that you take this a bit level higher, you move to a 360 sort of model. When not the soil health, you also integrate the weather dependent volatility of the farming. Because if you see, farming is affected not just by the pricing, it's also affected by external factors where a farmer or a government has a little control, which is like weather, which is like your water availability, a lot of things are there. So there, people like, just to give an example, more on the tech side, someone like a Sadhyu, I would say, and a lot of people working on that, where one of the again startups that we have funded, which is on the satellite imagery side, where using microwaves or technology, can you to a significant depth figure out not just the soil, but from a crop perspective, are there, you need interventions on the pesticide side, you need interventions on the say herbicide side. What is the intervention so that you can protect your crop also from the final producer? So these two are good examples where say technological intervention, because these the government cannot do these interventions because you cannot build a policy around it. But the startup from a small scale, and these are replaceable. So if you build any of the startup, the intention should be that can it be replaced across multiple states. Because if you build for one state, one location, it may not be possible for the state. So technology is something where these sort of startups can work and they can scale there across multiple locations. And apart from that, on the consumer side, you can build solutions around traceability, solutions around market linkages, which are again good interventions where a lot of tech can come in. See again, capital is the biggest constraint for startup, right? So always build solutions which solve a particular problem, which is very niche, and it can be solved by some sort of technology building. See, because if you don't build technology is scalable that way. If you get into capacity building, I'll add 5 more collection centers. That's not the way to go for a startup, I would say. That's for some late stage, someone can do that with funding and all. Go for interventions where you can actually build small technical solutions, and those solutions can work with not direct consumer, but with, if I may say, B2B sort of setup. When I say B2B, you have a lot of companies already working in across states. You have chemical companies, you have fertilizer companies, you have seed companies, you have 100 companies already there, but they need partners to work. See, they also have their own things to manage in terms of their own corporate structure. So can you work with these companies to scale up your product and reach out to the final farmer? Because we'll spend time in marketing, we'll spend time in building capacities, spend more time in building solutions which are actually right, tailored for that particular location, and then you gradually scale up one by one with the capital location. That's the
Yeah. What you told about these technology interventions at the farmers level is, yes, it is very intensive efforts are to be required, and we have also seen that acceptance by all these AI system by the farmers. That's the biggest challenge. There are a lot of challenges are there in the first of all, basically is that understanding what is the AI requirement. A continuous soil health monitoring is the need of the hour, and that should be very cheap and very easily accessible, very easily understandable, and must be in a position to get the solutions on an hourly basis, because the water stress, etc., somebody was describing yesterday. All these things are really required. But to bring at the moment all these technology to bring to the grassroots level, there's not upfront cost is there. There are many challenges. We have seen practical experience. We are telling about all the things at a many level. Practically there are large. There's a lot of communication gap. And very long-term technology ultimately it should be simple to make and easy for the farmer to do it. And then only it can be solved. From the FPO point of view, getting the AI to the grassroots level in the most economical way will be the answer for one of the answer for the growth of your production of your members. Anybody who had been in this area, particularly providing AI to the farmers who are here and who had faced a critical challenge or better challenge is there from developed people who are there can come out with that, just introduce it and take 2 minutes to tell the topic, because that's the most better. Will you please pass the mic to you?
Sir, we are from Deep Technologies and I am the operations assistant in Deep Technologies. My name is Ayush. Sir, we are now doing research in developing AI. We have a weather station and it's automatically, and it also have a cloud-based AI generation machine. We also in a PCB that consists of the weather station. It also collect the data and
Excellent. For how many years you are in this field?
we had 2 years.
2 years. And how much you could reach the farmers?
Now we have in 300 rice farmers in Kannur. 300.
What is the difficulty in reaching to 3,000?
3,000. Now we are a startup and
Then what is the difficulty we perceive to reach 3,000 immediately? Suppose if you want to reach within next 2 months, what will be the difficulty? Most challengeable
aspect is mainly weather.
Data.
Weather data. The farmers need the weather data to analyze the previous examples, the sudden temperature variation in 2023. In April to May, there is a sudden changes in the temperature. So we give the farmers exact data to when the crops are cultivated and how to sell it.
Sir, what is the grassroots?
We use inside like ISROs.
No, that is available at what precise level?
Precise level in 2 km square range.
Okay. Then it is available.
It is available, sir.
Then what is the data is available? Then what
That is given the farmers through a mobile app, and the FPOs can monitor it in a website. We have developed a web app. They can monitor it in a screen. And all the farmers, around 300 farmers are using the mobile app, and the FPOs are analyzing all the data through their web app.
you are telling the biggest challenge is now the availability of data.
No, the availability is okay when our weather station is implemented, the data is okay, but after that we have to reach the farmers.
Reaching this data to the farmers, that is the real challenge.
No sir, I think our product has to be reached the farmers.
Okay, your product has to reach the
Yes.
farmers.
Then they know how to use the AI integrated farming system.
Okay, definitely that sensitization, that is the real problem. That is the real
That
problem.
is, the farmers are not aware of.
Sensitizing of the farmers.
Yeah.
The local Krishi Bhavans are all there.
Yes.
Through them will it not be possible to make it reach, and our Krishi Bhavans are being converted into smart Krishi Bhavans.
Now, with the help of NABARD, we are trying to we are reaching out the FPOs and also the distributors.
So definitely there is a huge scope of opportunity scope is very high. You can give the mic.
Okay.
Yeah.
We contacted
This is my question.
the AA people. The problem is that this costs around 2 lakh. So today, നമുക്കത് സർവേ 2 square kilometer ആണ്. So only 500 acres in the
കുറച്ചും കൂടെ ഗ്രാസ് റൂട്ട് ലെവൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഡാറ്റ വേണം അല്ലെ കുറച്ചും കൂടെ granular data വേണം.
ഞങ്ങൾക്കൊരു 5,000 ഏക്കേഴ്സിൻ്റെ ഞങ്ങളുടെ ടെറിട്ടറി വരുന്നുണ്ട് ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത് അതെങ്കിലും കവർ ചെയ്ത് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് അവരോട് കോൺടാക്ട് ചെയ്ത് ഗോയിങ് ടു ബൈ വൺ ഓൾസോ നമുക്കത് ഏരിയ കവർ ചെയ്ത്
കോസ്റ്റാണ് മെയിൻ ഫാക്ടർ.
കോസ്റ്റിൽ കൂടുതൽ നമുക്ക് ഏരിയ കവറേജ് കിട്ടും. They are only offering 2 square kilometer. That means only 500 acres below 500 acres.
കുറച്ചും കൂടെ വലുതായിട്ടുള്ള
Area coverage.
കുറച്ചും കൂടെ
ഹലോ, എൻ്റെ പേര് ശ്രീഹരി. ഞാനൊരു സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട് റേഡിയോ കൃഷി IIT പാലക്കാട് ബേസ്ഡാണ്. എല്ലാവരും പറയും ആണ് ഒരു അഗ്രികൾച്ചറിൻ്റെ കീ ചലഞ്ച്. ബട്ട് ഇതിലുപരി we don't have a data to farm right. For a farm level, we need to collect data from soil, plant, weather. All these 3 parameters are very crucial for a plant growth or as a farmer. But everyone will talk about the AI because today we don't have in the Indian agriculture, we don't have data for cultivating. Today people are very much clueless when to harvest, what crops should have to cultivate this land. Because if you consider it, Europe, America, all those markets, they have collected almost 100 years of data from soil, plant, weather. Today we have developed a model actually. We have an infield farm monitoring device which is placed inside the farm, which can capture almost 25 parameters from the farm level. Which means farmers are more concerned about what's happening to his farm or her farm. So he is not concerned about an entire village or state level. So what we are doing is that with our data collection system, which we are placing inside the farm, they can able to capture parameters from soil moisture, soil temperature, soil sanity. Let's say if plant evapotranspiration, plant wetness, leaf wetness, all those things can be very crucial for a let's say today farmers are very much clueless when to harvest, when to irrigate, how much to irrigate, and what all pests can come with these favorable conditions. Today we have collecting data which is very much accurate. We have tested and validated with our gold standard other weather stations all over the globe.
But what would be the cost? Because whether it is regularity for the farmer to sustain that.
Cost is very much concerned for a farmer actually. So we are providing customized sensor devices for them actually. If a farmer is cultivating turmeric, a farmer is cultivating paddy, he requires different sensors. He can't sell it to a single weather station. We are just customizing the weather station. Our weather station costs around starting from 1.2 lakhs. It depends upon the how accurate they need data. So that is how we are working actually. And we are also promoting micro entrepreneurship in farmers community so that they can buy it in a product actually and they can cultivate it. That is the good model. And good part is that we are building our own sensors actually, which is much more reliable actually. If you are buying a sensor from outside the country, it doesn't last more than 3 to 4 months. But we are assuring a warranty of at least 5 years, and we will be giving complete replacement for soil moisture, soil temperature, and leaf wetness. These are the 3 sensors which we are building now, and we have successfully tested and we have taken a patent as well.
Quite a journey, because if you told the basic cost itself for a farmer, this one is around 1 lakh or 1.45 lakhs, so 5 lakhs. Per farmer, the payback for this mechanism for getting it is in what reasonable time? That should be the real.
Correct. We are clear with our ROI as well.
Assuming 5 acres, how many sensors would be on? Pro rata, how many would be required?
Actually, for 5 acres, ideally 1 farm station is required actually, almost covering 25 parameters. But if it's a long answer, I should say it depends upon the terrain. If terrain we don't want to replicate the entire system, we just want to replicate only few sensors. and that can be connected to the main station. So that farmers can able to get a complete picture of what's happening to his field. Let's say if it's 500 acres or 1000 acres, he can replicate this technology without replicating all the sensors. He just required only the exact sensor is required. So that's what they can cost reduction also can happen at the farm level.
Actually, we must require at the ground level what we have told you, replicable models in which sustainability is again and again established.
Exactly.
Once it is established, it has to go, and because the farmer aggregates who are sitting here, at least they are having 500 farmers each. Each there.
We have
But
around,
that sustainability point of view is, when the numbers for sustainability will be, it is there.
So we have our own model for micro entrepreneurship for farmers actually, so that farmers can have a community farming. They can adopt our technology and just replicate the few sensors which is required for their farm. But the main station can be transferred to all those information. And that will be very crucial for a farmer because farmers can't, let's say if I buy a weather station, nearby 1 acre also, other bike can have to have a weather station, right? He can get my data and I will get money from that day.
Optimizing the scarce resources is one of the most fundamental.
Correct.
Actually, at the grassroots level, what we require is that, like that initiative of your startup,
Yes.
stronger collaborations are required, which there is the risk factor which you are taking, which the farmer is taking, or the collectors are taking, has to be shared.
Correct.
So it all depends upon the collaboration and all those things. Go ahead with that.
And we believe that data is something which is very much crucial for our, particularly in Kerala condition actually, because climatic variation is very much high compared to Tamil Nadu, Karnataka. Kerala is facing a significant issue with that. But later on, let's say if I'm coming from Palakkad, so in some areas, like, let's say average rainfall we get is 300 mm or 200. But how you are saying that it's entire Palakkad. But farmers are more interested to know what happening to my farm. So that is what we are here actually. So we give the exact information what will happen to his plant. But we have an app actually so that every day he can see how happy his plant is. So we don't want to go in field because
Added to the Karnataka and the Tamil Nadu variations here, it is monocropping is very little. It is multi-cropping. Mostly it is a homestead farm. So the requirements of the data for each crop or itself is very important. So that again further adds to the when data is more analyzed, more cost-effective.
we believe the data is very much important. So that is what give much importance for the government.
Data is very much important. Data management is particularly to the grassroots. That is the real reason. I hope that government may also have longer plans. These are real areas in which government can facilitate it. The government is having a lot of data inputs. If it is integrated tools, it will be more cheaper. Secondly, we want a sustainable models to run. Yeah.
ഡാറ്റയുടെ ഉപയോഗം വളരെ അത്യാവശ്യമാണ്. ഇതിനകത്തൊരു പ്രശ്നമുള്ളത് ഈ സൊല്യൂഷൻസ് എല്ലാം തന്നെ വളരെ സ്കാറ്റേഡ് ആയിട്ടാണ് ഫാർമേഴ്സിന് കിട്ടുന്നത്. ആ ഫാർമേഴ്സിൻ്റെ ഇടയിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്, ഇപ്പോഴും ചെയ്യുന്നതുകൊണ്ടാണ് പറയുന്നത്. ഉദാഹരണമായിട്ട് ഒരാൾ കൊടുക്കുന്നത് ക്ലൈമറ്റ് ഡാറ്റ, പക്ഷെ അവർക്ക് ഇതെല്ലാം കൂടെ ഒരു ടോട്ടൽ സൊല്യൂഷനായിട്ട് കിട്ടുന്ന രീതിയിൽ ഇതിന് കൊണ്ടുവന്നാലാണ് ഇതിൻ്റെ സ്കെയിൽ വേണ്ടി കൊണ്ടുവരുന്നത്. പല ഫാർമേഴ്സിനോട് ഇത് ഞങ്ങൾ സംസാരിക്കും. ഉദാഹരണമായിട്ട് സോയിൽ മോയ്സ്ചർ അറിയണം, സോയിൽ ഓർഗാനിക് കാർബൺ അറിയണം, വെതർ ഡാറ്റ കിട്ടണം. അത് തന്നെ സാർ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ ക്രോപ്പ് സ്പെസിഫിക് ആയിട്ടുള്ള വെതർ ഡാറ്റ ഇത്തരത്തിലുള്ള ഇഷ്യൂസ് പല സൊല്യൂഷനിലും വരുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇതൊരു ടോട്ടൽ സൊല്യൂഷനാക്കി മാറ്റാനായിട്ട് ഈ സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പുകൾ ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഒരു പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ലക്ഷ്യം അതിനകത്തുള്ളൂ. രണ്ടാമത് പറയുന്നത് ഇതിൻ്റെ ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ്മെൻറ്റാണ്. പലപ്പോഴും ഞങ്ങൾ ഫാർമേഴ്സിൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് ഈ ടെക്നോളജിയൊക്കെ ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ നബാർഡിൻ്റെ ഒക്കെ ഒരുപാട് ഡെമോൺസ്ട്രേഷൻ നമ്മൾ ഫീൽഡിൽ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ധാരാളം ആൾക്കാർ അത് സ്കെയിലപ്പ് ചെയ്തു. പക്ഷെ എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ വളരെ കോസ്റ്റ് എഫക്റ്റീവായിട്ടാണ് ഫെർട്ടിഗേഷൻ ടെക്നോളജി. ഒരുപാട് പേര് ഒരു സ്ഥലത്ത് ഡെമോൺസ്ട്രേഷൻ ചെയ്തു തന്നെ 10-20 പേര് അത് ഡെമോൺസ്ട്രേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത രീതിയിലേക്ക് വരുന്നു. നേരത്തെ അശോക് സാർ പറഞ്ഞ ഈ എക്സോട്ടിക് പറയുന്നത് ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരിടത്ത് ചെയ്തപ്പോഴത്തേക്കും എത്രയോ പേര് അത് സ്കെയിലബിലിറ്റി കൂടുന്നുണ്ട്. അതായത് കോസ്റ്റ് എഫക്റ്റീവായിട്ട് ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ്. അപ്പോൾ അതുപോലെ ഇത് കുറച്ചുകൂടെ കോസ്റ്റ് എഫക്റ്റീവായിട്ട് ഇതിനൊന്ന് ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റിയാൽ നല്ലത്. അതിന് നല്ലൊരു സൊല്യൂഷൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മുടെ NABARD introduce ചെയ്ത സെൽഫ് ഹെൽപ്പ് ഗ്രൂപ്പ് ജോയിന്റ് ലയബിലിറ്റി ഗ്രൂപ്പുകളാണ്. ഫാമേഴ്സിന്റെ ഗ്രൂപ്പുകൾ ഉണ്ടാക്കിയാൽ അവർക്ക് ഈ കോസ്റ്റ് ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. ഒരു 2 lakh വരുമ്പോൾ നമ്മളൊരു പ്രധാന ഇഷ്യൂ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് സ്മോൾ ഹോൾഡിംഗ് ഫാമേഴ്സ് ആണ്. അവർക്ക് പലപ്പോഴും ഈ 5 acre വരുന്ന റേഡിയസിലുള്ള ഫാമേഴ്സ് ഒരാൾ കിട്ടില്ല. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് അതിനൊരു ക്ലസ്റ്റർ ഓഫ് ഫാമേഴ്സിനാക്കിയിട്ട് ഗ്രൂപ്പ് അപ്രോച്ചിൽ പോയിട്ട് അവർക്കൊരു ചെറിയ ലോൺ പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് സ്കീം കൂടെ വന്നാൽ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ഫാമേഴ്സ് എടുക്കുന്നുള്ള കാര്യത്തിൽ ഒരു പ്രശ്നം, ഒരു ക്രെഡിറ്റ് കൂടെ വെച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഇത് ക്രെഡിറ്റ് ലിങ്കേജ് ഒരു 10 ഫാമേഴ്സിനെ കിട്ടുവാണെങ്കിൽ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും നമുക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി പറ്റും. നമ്മൾ നബാർഡിന്റെ പല നേരത്തെ സാർ പറഞ്ഞ ഹോർട്ടിക്കൾച്ചറിന്റെ ഒക്കെ നമ്മൾ ലോൺ ലിങ്ക്ഡ് ആയിട്ട് 1 കോടി രൂപയൊക്കെ എടുത്തിട്ട് നമ്മളൊരു വാർഷികത്തിൽ ലോൺ ലിങ്ക്ഡ് പ്രോഗ്രാം തന്നെ അടിച്ചു ഫാമേഴ്സ് അതിന് ബില്ലിംഗ് ആവും. പക്ഷേ ഇത് അത്തരത്തിലുള്ള ഒരു അപ്രോച്ചിലേക്ക് ഇത് കൊണ്ടുവരും. രണ്ടാമത് സാറ് ഈ ഡാറ്റ എല്ലാം കിട്ടിയാലും ഹൗ ടു യൂസ് ദ ഡാറ്റ, ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് വെരി ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ്. അവിടെയാണ് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നത് അഗ്രികൾച്ചർ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിൽ വലിയ തോതിൽ ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ്മെന്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി പറ്റും. അവിടെ സാർ പറഞ്ഞൊരു പോയിന്റ് കൂടിയിട്ട് ഈ നമ്മൾ എടുക്കുന്ന കർഷകർ എടുക്കുന്നതൊക്കെ തന്നെ അഗ്രികൾച്ചർ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിലെയും ലോക്കൽ യൂണിറ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള അഗ്രികൾച്ചർ ഓഫീസിൽ ഇന്റഗ്രേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് അവിടെ നിന്ന് മറ്റു ഫാമേഴ്സിന് കൂടെ കൊടുക്കുവാണെങ്കിൽ ചെറിയ ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ്മെന്റുകളോട് കൂടുതൽ സ്കെയിലബിലിറ്റി ഇതിനകത്ത് സാധിക്കും. രണ്ടാമതുള്ളത് സാർ വിളിക്കുന്നതുകൊണ്ട് നമ്മുടെ അഗ്രികൾച്ചർ ഓഫീസുകളിലെല്ലാം തന്നെ ഇത്തരം ടെക്നോളജിയുടെ ഒരു ഡെമോൺസ്ട്രേഷൻ യൂണിറ്റ് തുടങ്ങുവാണെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ കാസർഗോഡ് കളക്ടറേറ്റിൽ ജല സംരക്ഷണത്തിനൊരു ഡെമോൺസ്ട്രേഷൻ യൂണിറ്റ് തുടങ്ങി നല്ലതായിട്ടുള്ള ട്രേഡ് വരുന്നുണ്ട്. കർഷകരുടെ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഈ മൈക്രോ ഇറിഗേഷൻ പ്രാക്ടീസസ്, അതുപോലെ എല്ലാ കൃഷിഭവനുകളിലും അവിടെ ലോക്കലി സ്പെസിഫിക് ആയിട്ടുള്ള സിറ്റുവേഷനെ വെച്ച് ഇത്തരത്തിലുള്ള ടെക്നോളജിയുടെ ഒരു ഡെമോൺസ്ട്രേഷൻ യൂണിറ്റ് തുടങ്ങുവാണെങ്കിൽ നേരെ സാർ പറഞ്ഞ സ്മാർട്ട് അഗ്രികൾച്ചർ ഓഫീസായിട്ട് മാറുവാണെങ്കിൽ കർഷകർക്ക് വലിയ തോതിൽ സാർ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞ ഇത്തരത്തിലുള്ള സ്കീമുകളൊക്കെ വരുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അവരും കൂടെ കൂടുതൽ ബൂസ്റ്റ് ആവുകയും ഈ കണക്കിന് കുറച്ചും കൂടെ ഇന്റഗ്രേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നതാണ്. താങ്ക് യു സാർ.
Data at the farmer unit ഉള്ള ഡാറ്റ ഇതിൻ്റെ തോട്ടുള്ള ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ നമ്മുടെ ഗവൺമെൻറ് ലെവലിലുള്ള എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു ഡയറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഈ മെയിൻ പ്രോബ്ലം പറഞ്ഞാൽ അത് കൊടുത്താൽ ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി പ്രൊഡക്ടിവിറ്റി ഇൻക്രീസ് ചെയ്തതിനോട്ടൊരു നല്ലൊരു പറയേണ്ട. അത് ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്സ് ആർ ദെയർ ഇൻ ഡൂയിങ് സംതിങ് വിത്ത് ദ ഡാറ്റ. ബട്ട് ആ റീച്ചിന് ഉള്ള ഒരു കുറച്ച് ഡിഫിക്കൽട്ടീസ് ഉണ്ട്. റീച്ച് ആവുന്നത് വളരെ സ്പെസിഫിക് ആയിട്ടുള്ളൂ. ഞാൻ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞില്ലെന്നേ ഉള്ളൂ, അഗ്രികൾച്ചർ ഓൾ ഓവർ ഇന്ത്യ ദർ ഇസ് സംതിങ് കോൾഡ് ദ ഡിജിറ്റൽ അഗ്രികൾച്ചർ മിഷൻ വിച്ച് ദ ഗവൺമെന്റ് ഓഫ് ഇന്ത്യ ഇസ് ഷേപ്പിംഗ്. നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിലും അത് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. സോ ദർ വാട്ട് ഈസ് ഹാപ്പനിങ് ഈസ് fundamentally 3 registries have to be integrated. One is farmers who are there. Secondly, the land in which they are producing. Thirdly, the crops which they are cultivating. Crop data is most dynamic, changes from season to season. For short duration crops, every 100 days the data changes. Land is still more static. Maybe land is the most dynamic, least dynamic in the whole three. Various farmers exchange lands and cultivate, sell or buy or lease and keep cultivating. We are in an advanced status of creating that database. Already we have about 28 lakh farmers in our system. Land registry, we have about 3 crore land parcels registered in the revenue department. But the thing is, we have to now match and bring together against a unique farmer ID the lands attached to that particular person. That we are in that process. So it is not that easy because one database was built on some platform at one time. The other platform is going in at this point of time. All this became possible only because of this DBT thing which came at PMKS by MPSAT basically. We think that our task is to bring together 30 lakh, that is the number we have in mind, 30 lakh registered farmers with a unique ID given at the national level, because they have to be identified against national programs. The land parcels attached with them, which we think will be between 40 to 45 lakh land parcels, active land parcels in agricultural use and plantation use. And then the crop data has to be overlaid into this. The crop data is to be collected for 2 seasons through surveys who actually on the field estimate the
not think it was right material for startups at the moment. So once these three are put together and one identifies the other, it becomes very easy to sort of and to set across a host of services. We are also invested into Kerala's own 21 module digitization of the agricultural operations in the government, which include crop weather warning systems, satellite data which gets inlaid into the geo-reference village maps, etc. So that's a project which is ongoing on the site. So what we see in 2 years' time is that the agriculture department, that is why I was getting worried when this man was saying that the Krishi Bhavan will bring together the startup, the farmer, everything. I was wondering what the Krishi Bhavan will do after 2 years. Our strategy is to actually bypass the conventional structure and let the market play out, you know. The problem is the moment you expect 1,000 people to play coordinators, my experience is it doesn't happen. It's very difficult to inlay an incentive system to a government functionary to bring together 5 startups and make them work. I don't know, I am not giving an answer, but I am doubtful whether the government system will bring together all the startup fellows and start bidding. You may have to allow a market to play and simply facilitate from this side so that the stronger, better players emerge. They kill one another and survive, you know. But as it occurs, if this works out to design, most of the human interface of government in agriculture, except extension support, will start disappearing. None of it is a problem. The moment you have weather data, crop advisory available in all agencies, the government network becomes just one network. You will have several parallel networks to look at it. I am emboldened to say this because Kerala has a very expansive extension network like that. But Kerala results in only 15%, 20% of the production which the state consumes. If you look at states which have much thinner extension networks, they are supplying you 30 to 40% of the food you want. So one thing does not really feed to the other, you know. So what has to be, probably this time we realized the limitation of one and allowed the market to sort of play. I don't have answer there, but maybe there is a role. But to believe that government machineries will establish food self-sufficiency, I have my own genuine doubts. The thinner the extension structure, larger and more intensive the production. So that's what we see.
I'll just come back. That actually here in the initial presentation slides he was telling about the role of KERA. KERA, the program which is a World Bank assisted program which is going to be launched so soon, and that is the main focus of the KERA program is the climate smart agriculture. So that's definitely a good role for the FPO collectives as well as for the startups, because many of the startups are into climate and weather related climate and weather related activities. But from the government side, simplified regulations are required, and I think government is also going into that. If you read the NABARD's objectives and what they are telling about, they are going to make revolutionary changes. I think it is a revolutionary changes in the land leasing issues in there. So like that, a lot of simplified regulations are required. Incentives and subsidies, maybe government will also rethink into what form of incentives and subsidies to be given. But creating an enabling environment for startups to develop and implement climate smart agriculture technologies. That is definitely the need of the hour. You want to speak something?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Arun. I'm from Pharma Pursuit. So I just wanted to pitch in because some of the conversation that we are having we feel that the solution that we have is right fit here. Because as we understand, like sir also mentioned, the core problem is that for agri businesses to be viable. And like you were saying, there are a lot of solutions which are at the micro level, but we need to really look at implementing them at the macro level. Because access for these solutions which are distributed to farmers is difficult. So only enabling entities like FPOs who can bring together or aggregate farmers can basically enable the access to these solutions in the first place. And then the other problem is that there are so many solutions that for an FPO who is not traditionally that much familiar with using technology, that they have to deal with so many different solutions. It's difficult for them to really bring together. One thing is difficult for them to bring everything together in the first place. And the second problem is that how to aggregate all the data and effectively use it. So where we come in is, we have a solution where we have a enterprise resource planner. It's like an end-to-end supply chain management solution for enabling entities like FPOs. So the thing is that all these distributed solutions, they can be connected to this common platform so that you get to manage all your data on a centralized platform. This platform has your backward linkage, has your forward linkage, it has in between everything that you need on a centralized platform. So what happens is that for FPOs, you basically need data. And the whole part is that the entire life cycle has to be, risk management is critical. And every stage of the production process, you need to have clear idea what's happening, where am I standing, where is my risk at. So it's essential for you to have a visibility at the micro level and the macro level. So that's where a solution like what we provide, which is an end-to-end data platform, supply chain or life cycle management platform, where you have entire visibility of who are the farmers in your FPO, where are their fields at, what are their production like, what is the production cycle, where are they standing, what are the inputs. And so all of these solutions can be integrated and brought together in a basically ERP-like software, where you can generate the data, use the data, and then use it for proper risk management.
All these actually requires funds, because to make it reach to the grassroots level, for the agro startups to grow, for the FPOs to absorb, for FPOs to grow, and there are funding agencies available here. Our own NABARD is there just to see that in these type of technologies and how to make these technologies reach the grassroots level. The funds are available, funding agencies are available. If you show the platform, see the sustainability, you define the sustainability, and how the sustainability will be arranged, will be definitely. Fund availability is not a constraint. It is taking the right fund will be the right people will be the real constraint. I feel that that is we are just talking about the production, but the other side, market linkage and supply chain optimization. That is the other area required. We were talking about the production, how to improve the production, everything in a deeper way. But the main thing is that how to reach the market, or what is the consumer requirement, how to convert back to the farmer. There is the role of FPOs and startups, in building efficient supply chains, and startups in that area. Actually, we have seen a good number of startups who are into that area. That is one area in which more actually research will be also faster. That's what we feel. You want to speak? Yes.
Very good morning. Just to append myself, Dr. Sudhir from heading Agri-Business Incubation Center of Kerala Agriculture University. Just to append what data actually APC has already mentioned in the initial presentation. Kerala Agriculture University has nurtured nearly 230 plus agri startups and funded almost 97 startups as the intro sir was mentioning. So agri startup and agri business incubation center promotes startups which has got a strong backward linkage, as now it was mentioning, with farmer connect as well as seller connect. So startup with innovative idea in agri, robotics or in farm mechanization and food processing or any sustainable practices with agri sector. Agriculture University is funding up to 25 lakhs grant. Many of the grantees you can see the cushion here and then Russia and Green Meat. They are all then beyond snack, many of the startups in the startup section exhibited, they are all grantees from Agri-Business Incubation Unit, but many more can come, and next year also, if you want, if you have a strong idea, with innovative idea which has got a commercial scalability, and at the same time farmer connect. That's very important, as just now the NABARD chairman was mentioning. That's very important. Farmer connect, innovation and commercial scalability. Agri Ministry is providing through Kerala Agriculture University the Agri-Business Incubation Lab. So most of you can welcome, you can contact me, and lunchtime you can, if you have, beyond snack is also sitting here. Okay, thank you.
Definitely, governments, you can see a sea change in the government's approach in giving an enabling environment for the growth of startups and FPOs industry. Our organization is telling that we will reduce the time and we have to stop the sessions going on. As a final word from sir, you can tell, then I will wrap it up for that meeting.
So, ഒരു കോർഡിനേഷൻ കൊടുക്കാനായിരുന്നു. ഇവിടെ ഡാറ്റ മാനേജ്മെന്റ് ഒരു കാര്യമാണല്ലോ, അതൊരു ഫൈനൽ കോർഡിനേഷൻ മുമ്പ് കൊടുക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടായിരുന്നു. സോ നേരത്തെ ഒരു സംശയം ചോദിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു, ഡാറ്റ എങ്ങനെ മാനേജ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, അത് ഒന്ന് പ്രോപ്പറായിട്ട് പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുക്കാനായിരുന്നു. സോ നമ്മൾ 2022 തൊട്ടിട്ട് ഫാമേഴ്സിനിടയിൽ, ഇപ്പോൾ അനീഷ് അറിയും, PB അനീഷ് എന്ന് പറയും, കണ്ണൂരിൽ കർഷകശ്രീ 2023 കിട്ടിയത്, അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് ഉൾപ്പെടെ നമ്മൾ കൊടുക്കുന്ന ഡാറ്റ വിൽ ബി അക്യുറേറ്റ്. കാരണം നമ്മൾ ഈ ഡാറ്റ മാനേജ് ചെയ്ത് നമ്മുടെ മൊബൈലിൽ തന്നെ നമുക്ക് കാണാൻ പറ്റും കൃഷി എന്ത് അവസ്ഥയിലാണ് നിൽക്കുന്നത്. ഇപ്പോൾ 2019 പെട്ടെന്നൊരു ഫ്ലഡ് വന്നു, ഒരു ഓഗസ്റ്റിൽ. അന്നത്തെ റബ്ബർ കർഷകർക്ക് കുറേ പേര് പെട്ടെന്ന് വന്ന മഴയിൽ അവരെ പാൽ റബ്ബർ ഷീറ്റെല്ലാം പുറത്തിറക്കുന്നു. ഇനി നമ്മുടെ ഡാറ്റ കറക്റ്റ് കൊടുക്കും, നിങ്ങൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, അതായത് വെതർ ഫോർകാസ്റ്റ് അക്യുറേറ്റ് ആവുന്നതിന് കൂടെ തന്നെ നമ്മളൊരു കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ERP സിസ്റ്റം ഉണ്ട്, ഓണ്ടർപ്രണർസ് റിസോഴ്സ് പ്ലാനിംഗ് സിസ്റ്റം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഇൻബിൽഡ് ആണ്. ഇതിന് കൂടെ തന്നെ ഇൻബിൽഡ് ആയിട്ടാണ് കർഷകർക്ക് കിട്ടുന്നത്. ഈ സിസ്റ്റം രജിസ്ട്രേഷൻ വാങ്ങുന്നവർക്ക് FPOs ആണെങ്കിൽ അത് അക്യുറേറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് അവരെ കീഴിൽ എത്ര ഫാർമേഴ്സ് ഉണ്ടോ അവരെ മുഴുവൻ ഒരൊറ്റ മോണിറ്ററിൽ കാണാൻ പറ്റും, ഇവർക്ക് വേണ്ട സജഷൻസ് കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റും. സിസ്റ്റമാറ്റിക് ആയിരിക്കും കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ഫാർമേഴ്സ് ടു ഇത്. യെസ് സർ, ഇത് നമ്മൾ കറക്റ്റ് അക്യുറേറ്റ് ഡാറ്റ അവർക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കി കൊടുക്കും.
Thanks. ഇതിനകത്ത് കൂടുതലായിട്ട് ചേർക്കാനൊന്നുമില്ല. All said and done, I would say where I am that these are early days for startups to take deep root. But the seed is very promising. A lot of things have come to us which attract us. The public funds do have an interest and stake. But പല രീതിയിലായിരിക്കും offers മുമ്പോട്ട് വരുന്നത്. So what I want to say is watch this space. We will also try and establish a one-to-one contact with all those who are engaged in some way in the public sector, either with NABARD or PBWIT or with us or Startup Mission, and keep posting the opportunities on the Startup Mission's sites also. So that will have to be a continuous effort to identify. One of the key things we want to do is to get the problem statements, people who have problems to solve in the field, and the solution makers together on a platform. And that will be done by and large at the Capco's level. There is a mandate which Capco has to bring these people to. That's part of the business plan of Capco. And we are also looking at, on December 19th, we are holding a explanatory session on Capco's business plans and prospects at Kochi. Among the events in the quarterly promote along with the participation with the Startup Mission. Secondly, because Kerala has an inbuilt component for startups, Startup Mission will be driving it forward. So we hope these to be the primary platforms which will give us returns on our investment, which will go out to the startups. So there would be hundreds of other opportunities. In fact, this weather management data, scaling up and all, even you may have an opportunity when our engaged platform matures. There's an app also. So that app can actually lead to so many other applications which can do that. It's a commercially viable application. Somebody was saying only 300 people are there. The app only has 30,000 farmers. 30,000 is a good number where you can, if you onboard to us, So all you need to do, Capco is not designed as a government company. It has only 33% equity share. So it is left, the other shares we are sort of dispersing to individual FIs. I'm also hoping NABARD will take 3%. So it's going to be a multi-sector company. So what you need to do is that you have an offer, immediately punch a mail to NABARD saying, to Capco saying that you want to tap this, get into the other app and offer your platform. So that the way we work with is to do an unstructured negotiation right away with the incomer. You are all welcome to walk into we will structure it in a way that we conduct a sort of walk-in sessions with startups every month. That's what we have an idea. Already we have on board our tech solutions provided as a walk-in. Somebody walked in and said, okay, we give you 1,000 bucks. As low as that, we give you 10. Preparing the guy was a problem, so we thought of treating him as like our electrician and plumber, and said that I just told him I'll pay 10,000 per month. You sit on a corner and start making your solutions. So he's there punching away his solutions. We buy only what we want. So that way we plan to open a workspace where people can walk in with their laptop, sit around, create answers to our solutions, and we like that wherever we are interested. So that kind of that's a way, because see, I come out with expressions of interest, letters, then go to this manual, that manual, we cannot sort of maintain effectively. I need to also discover a model where youngsters can walk in, start plugging it into my space, making a small token, right, like 10 rupees per day, prepare a solution and sell it to me. That's the model we are trying to look at. So we think there will be a lot of productivity in that. Thanks. All are welcome. So watch the spaces of Capco, a very nascent website and all, but nevertheless it means business. So you watch there. We'll copy NABARD on this, Startup Mission on this, or whatever we are going to do on what I mentioned here today, you will find images, notices there. So keep talking to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful. Before just going to that,
എനിക്ക് ചോദിക്കാനുള്ളത് നമ്മളൊരു ബാംഗ്ലൂർ ബേസ്ഡ് കമ്പനിയാണ്. 30 crore ടേൺ ഓവറുള്ള കേരള ഐറ്റംസ് ബാംഗ്ലൂർ, കർണാടക, മഹാരാഷ്ട്ര, ഹൈദരാബാദ് കൊടുക്കുന്ന ഒരു കമ്പനിയാണ്. പക്ഷെ ഇപ്പം പറഞ്ഞ് ഏറ്റവും വലിയ ചലഞ്ചസ് ഫേസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, ഒരു വർഷം 7.5 ലക്ഷം കിലോ കപ്പ വേണം. നമുക്ക് ക്വാളിറ്റി ഉള്ള കപ്പ വേണം, അതിൻ്റെ സമയത്ത് കിട്ടുകയും വേണം. അപ്പോൾ ഇതൊക്കെ ഇപ്പം നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുന്നില്ല. അപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ പറഞ്ഞ് ERP സിസ്റ്റം ഉണ്ട്, സപ്ലൈ ചെയിൻ ഉണ്ട്, പക്ഷേ ഫാമേഴ്സ് അവിടെ കൊടുക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ, അത് നമുക്ക് വാങ്ങിക്കാൻ പറ്റുമോ? NABARD, how can help us?
Good question. Actually, NABARD is associating in this platform. ഈ പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിൽ തന്നെ വരാൻ കാരണം NABARDിൻ്റെയും FPOയുടെയും അങ്ങനെ സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്സിൻ്റെ എല്ലാം കൂടെ ഒരു ഫെസിലിറ്റേറ്റിംഗ് പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ പറ്റുമോ എന്നുള്ള ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ അതുകൊണ്ട് മാത്രമാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ താമസിയാതെ തന്നെ ഞങ്ങളൊരു ഈ സെലക്റ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു FPOസിൻ്റെ ഒരു FPO ആക്സിലറേറ്റഡ് പ്രോഗ്രാമിലോട്ട് പോവാണ്. എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങൾ ചെയ്ത FPOസിൻ്റെ ഒരു 10% FPOs who are having നല്ലൊരു വർക്ക് എൻവയോൺമെൻറ്റ് അവർ ഇക്കോസിസ്റ്റം ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്തവരെ, ബട്ട് ദേ ആർ സ്റ്റക്ക് അറ്റ് വൺ പ്ലേസ്. അപ്പോൾ അടുത്തൊരു ലെവലിലോട്ട് വിതിൻ നെക്സ്റ്റ് 1 or 2 ഇയേഴ്സിനകത്തോട്ട് മാർക്കറ്റിൽ എങ്ങനെ അവർക്ക് ഫർദർ ഒരു ഡബിൾ വെയർ പ്രസന്റ് ഡിസ്റ്റിംഗ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് ഞങ്ങൾ ആ ഒരു ഉദ്ദേശത്തോടുകൂടി ഒരു FPO ആക്സിലറേഷൻ മോഡൽ ബേസിക്കലി നോളജ് ട്രാൻസ്ഫർ ഫെസിലിറ്റേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി ചെയ്യാനുള്ള അതിൻ്റെ പ്ലാനും പദ്ധതിയൊക്കെയാണ് സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് മിഷനിൽ കൂടിയും അതുപോലുള്ള എൻറ്റിറ്റീസിൽ കൂടി അവരെല്ലാം ഞങ്ങൾ ഈ പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിലോട്ട് കൊണ്ടുവന്ന് താങ്കൾ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ കൺസിസ്റ്റന്റ് കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ആയിട്ട് ഇതുമായിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടിരിക്കുന്ന മാർക്കറ്റിലോട്ട് ഇവർക്ക് സപ്ലൈ ചെയ്യാവുന്ന ഒരു എക്കോസിസ്റ്റം ഉണ്ടാക്കുവാനുള്ള ശ്രമമാണ്. അതാണ് നിങ്ങളുടെ അടിസ്ഥാനപരമായിട്ടുള്ള ഉദ്ദേശവും. അപ്പം ഗവൺമെന്റ് പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്ന പല ഏജൻസികളും സാറ് പറഞ്ഞു ക്യാപ്കോ പോലുള്ള മോഡലുകളിൽ NABARD പാർട്ണർ ചെയ്യാൻ തന്നെയുള്ള ഉദ്ദേശം ഇതുപോലുള്ള അഗ്രിഗേറ്റ്സിനെ ബേസിക്കലി NABARDിന് ഈ ഫാർമർ അഗ്രിഗേറ്റ്സ് വളരെ ക്ലോസ് ആണ്, ഫാർമിനോട് വളരെ ക്ലോസ് ആണ്. അവർക്ക് ഒരു അടുത്തൊരു നല്ലൊരു ലെവലിലോട്ട് പോകാൻ ഇതേ സൊല്യൂഷൻ തന്നെയാണ്. കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് കൺസിസ്റ്റന്റ് മാർക്കറ്റ് സപ്ലൈ എങ്ങനെ കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നുള്ള സൊല്യൂഷൻ ഞങ്ങൾ ട്രൈ ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി നോ ടൈം നമുക്ക് സമയത്തിന്റെ ഒരു കുറവുകൊണ്ട്.
Just the last thing, just one more minute. Sorry, sir. My name is Anthony. I am founder of Nature Up. We have created a powdered version of tender coconut water. It's So I've been seeing discussions regarding how the farmers side or the farming side and others too. Because just one statement is that India is the third largest producer of coconuts in the world. But if you see that 90% of the farmers in India are in losses. I feel that we really need to create some kind of value addition. Only value addition, and maybe I want to know how NABARD supports branding startups like us who create value-added products too. So I feel the discussion has been completely onto the other side. I don't know if this is part of the discussion too, but me being part of this discussion, I thought this needs to be on the end note, because whatever is created, I feel if you look at the ASEAN countries, they are not even producing as much coconuts as we are, but their farmers are taking so much of profits because of the value addition that is happening. Even I wanted to create this product in Kerala itself. I want to brand it as a made in Kerala brand, but when I approached the coconut farmers in Kerala, FPOs in Kerala, they were strictly restricted to coconut oil. They really don't want to go into any other value addition products from coconut. So if we stick on to this particular tradition, all things, I think whatever products are created, we need to create more value also onto that too. So I wanted to ask about that also, and also how NABARD supports startups like us too.
Absolutely, your answers is what I was trying to tell him also. The same, these are the things, farm gate value addition, to what extent we have to go for our FPOs. This is the question mark for us. That is what we are coming out with an FPO acceleration there. Our fundamental objective is to link the startups with the FPOs and to find out the solution. And for getting the startups, that is what we got a dedicated, NABARD would say, got dedicated subsidiary to facilitate funding arrangements for the startup. That's what in different stages. What we got NABARD, we got NABARD for giving the loans to startups as well as to the FPOs. And is there. Like that we have created, and to give a guarantee for the loans, we have created another subsidy, what we call it NAB subvention, which will give a guarantee like CGMS. So the total ecosystem of the startup with FPOs, agree startup. That's the underlying thing. That we are trying for it, and that is what we are trying to go ahead. And definitely we will try to link all our efforts with the government's goals, because government is a bigger player. We are only piloters in majority of the things we try to pilot, go to the government, others to take it up. There is hope, and that is the thinking process. I hope that we had a wonderful discussion. So time would have been there, we could have been continued. First of all, let me really thank Ashok sir for spending his very valuable time. That has all given me thank you each and everybody, and thank the organizers for thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you FPOs, startups, and participants from Agriculture University and Department of Agriculture. Thank you for being part of this program. This giving a token of love from Kerala Startup Mission, which I'm meeting CGMs and our token of love. So this gives by our startups, okay, revise